Save your password. Not now. All right. Greetings, everybody. It's been a minute since I've been here. So today we're going to be talking about 13 months in a year. We're going to be talking about the calendar and why it's so special. In Freemasonry, we use calendar months and AL and Ana Lucia. We use different dates for different things within the Masonic system. And today we're going to be talking about the calendar in 13 months. Why that shift? What does that really have to do with Freemasonry? And before I really get on subject tonight, for those individuals, and you know who you are, who like to have discussions on Facebook, you love to discuss things on Facebook. But when someone offers you the opportunity, a clear opportunity to have a face to face discussion, you can't have it. Or it's your bedtime now, but you're yet posting on Facebook. And I don't really want to have to deal with small minded people like that. So I'll leave that where it's at. But today we're talking about 13 months in a year. And some of you may say, well, why 13 months in a year? Today, we're going to have an open discussion. We're going to share some information with you. Some things you may know, some things you may not know. This may be new to some of you, may not be new to you, but we're going to have this open conversation tonight. If you can hear me, please put something in the chat. I've been having some difficulties, so I just want to know. But I want to welcome everyone who's coming on tonight so we can have this great discussion. This conversation in regards to 13 months to make a complete year instead of 12 months. And then what I would like for you to do is to go back and do your own research and finding and just seeing what I'm talking about. Is this really something true? Or is this guy just really talking and don't know? I mean, go back and do your own research and see if what I'm saying has any legitimacy to it. And I tell anybody and everybody to do that. So I want to welcome you aboard. Greetings to the various jurisdictions. I just want to send a big shout out to those who are coming on board with the Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons, this United General Grand Masonic Congress. I want to send a big shout out to you. I received several different emails in regards to different jurisdictions who was asking for information. If you're interested in participating in this unification of the Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons, certainly hit me up. You can definitely hit me up personally at John G. Jones, AFAM at yahoo.com. Hit me there and I will send you information in regards to the United General Grand Masonic Congress. I think this is going to be something great. That name may change. It depends on when we have our conference call, where do we really want to go with this? Because this is something big. This is something huge. I mean, we are attempting to do something outside really the norm for the Ancient, Free, and Accepted Mason because of the various different General Grand Masonic Congresses, the various Grand Lodges. This United General Grand Masonic Congress is something that's going to be unique. Nobody loses a title. Nobody loses anything. This is a unification of the brotherhood of the Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons. So the numbers in the Grand Lodges that are asking to come on is I'm going to say right now that receiving the love and the information and saying, yeah, I'm down with that, Brother Tony. I've been waiting on this a long time. Really does my heart good. And I want to make sure I get you the needed information that's going to assist you along the way and coming on board and really participating in this United General Grand Masonic Congress. As I said before, the name may change based on the meeting that we're going to be having here real soon. So if you're interested and you want to participate, your Grand Lodge wants to participate, certainly you're welcome to do so. We have criteria for those who want to participate. Yes, we do. We do have criteria, and that will be given to you. And we're going to move forward from there. It doesn't cost you any money to participate. It doesn't cost your Grand Lodge anything to participate. It doesn't cost your Congress anything to participate. This is at your own free will and accord. And we're looking forward to uniting and having this great fellowship. When I was in Atlantic City this past week or so, I had a great time. There were like 7 different jurisdictions there represented, and a couple of sovereign grand commanders that was there. It was a beautiful atmosphere. And I would say my brother Raymond Elwitz really put on a great session. And it was beautiful. Simple as that. And this is something we want all of the brotherhood of the ancient, free, and accepted Mason to participate in something like that, where we can actually really, show what Masonry should look like. This is where you come to really enjoy the endeavors of Freemasonry. So we're on board with that. So I just want to send a big shout out to everybody. Did you cover the Grand Lodge of Georgia and PHA Grand Lodge Treaty? I have not covered that. It was something that I felt that, do you think, I'm gonna put it out here. Do you think I should cover that? And I have pictures and everything. People send me pictures and everything in regards to that. If you think I should cover that, I will cover that. It happened, I think, last week or a few days ago. I will cover that. I would actually invite any Prince Hall brother who wants to come on and have that conversation to have that conversation. My personal opinion is that was something that I'm not going to say both jurisdictions. I'm going to say that this is my opinion only. I believe that Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Georgia did not need the acceptance of Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Georgia, did not need the acceptance of the Grand Lodge of Georgia. They didn't. But it was something that was put out there, and it had different amenities in it that they would not visit each other's lodges, but they agreed to recognize each other. That's something that they agreed upon. I know that my jurisdiction has Masonic amenities with other jurisdictions, foreign and domestic, and within that body, within that Masonic amenity, we have said that we want full amenity, meaning that there is mutual recognition, mutual visitation, period. That's how we structure our agreements, but there's a structure a little bit differently. So I'll let that be where that's at. But tonight, our conversation is dealing with the 13 months in a year. So that's where we're going to go. But, me speaking on what happened in Georgia with the Grand Lodge of Prince Hall and the mainstream Grand Lodge, more power to them. If that floats your boat, if that gets you where you want to be, I am happy for them. I have no ill thing to say in regards to what took place. I have nothing ill to say, nothing at all, period. So greetings to everybody who's coming on. I appreciate you. And we're going to get into this conversation right here. I would say in dealing with the 13 months in a year, because you have 13 constellations and you have 13 full moons, okay? A female have 13 cycles, okay? And that leads me into understanding, having a better understanding of why there should be 13 months instead of 12, because there are various calendars throughout history. And the calendar that we operate on right now is a Roman calendar. Okay, there are calendars out there that predates the Roman calendar. Okay, and I say that because I came across some information that was very interesting to me. In April being the first month, May being the second month, June being the third, July being the fourth, August being the fifth, September is the seventh, October is the eighth, November is the ninth, December is the 10th month, January is the 11th, February is the 12th, and March is the 13th. And you may say, well, how is that? Because Before we have what we call a Roman calendar, or before we have what we know as the calendar, based upon the constellations, is how we follow the months and completed a year. That's how it was done. That part is true, you know. Absolutely. So let's take a look at this. And the brother's putting 45 degrees of facts, is putting some information in the chat, which is absolutely true. See, the months are based in numbers. See, September means seven. The real word of September, the word itself is seven. The word Oc, meaning eight, that's the true word. October. Nov, N-O-V, November, meaning nine. As the brother put in there, December. Duck, meaning 10. These words, these months actually means numbers. Okay? If you go back and look at the actual names of the month, September, October, November, you will find out that they're actually numbers. Not the way we look at them as in December being 12, but no, December being 10. That's the actual meaning behind December is 10. So when you go and look at these numbers in January, Jan, 11, Feb means 12, March meaning 13, April is actually 1 because that's the beginning. That's springtime. Everything comes alive. That means it's the beginning of life. Okay. And when you look at that, the first day of April is April Fool's. Anybody ever tell you why? I just need for you to think for a minute. Have anybody ever said, why is April 1st is considered April Fool's? Maybe somebody's fooling us and giving us some jacked up calendar months, and we haven't really considered and gone back and looked and said, hey, look, maybe something isn't quite right with this. Maybe something isn't jiving right. So I would say, actually, when you have the opportunity, go back and take a real look at this, because it's very interesting in how the calendar changed and why we have a Roman calendar versus any other calendars out there. And it's like 3 or 4 different calendars. We've all heard of the Mayan calendar. Okay, we're familiar with that. It said that the earth or the world was supposed to end in 2012. You know, so we have that calendar out there. So go back and check that out. So with that being said, with that, looking at the 13-month calendar, when the doctor tells a young lady she's pregnant, they go by 4 weeks equals a month. 4 weeks equals a month. Now, if you take 4 weeks and you divide that into 13, you'll come out with 28 days, 28 to 30 days a month. That's what you come out with. It would give you 13 months. Go and check that out. When the doctor tells a woman, hey, you know what? You're pregnant. The woman carries the baby supposedly 9 months. Supposedly 9 months. But if you take that and you look at that and you begin to work those days between 28 and 30 days, you're going to come out, you're going to be like, you're going to have an aha moment. You do that for yourself. And I say that because a lot of things that we deal with, a lot of things that we come along with, we have to deal in what we call frequencies or vibrations. Okay. And if any of us know about the frequencies and vibrations, the lowest vibration that we are operating at right now is only 60 megahertz. Okay. Now, if you know anything about the moon and how it pulls on the Earth's gravity, how the ebbs and flows twice in 24 hours, you'll have a better understanding of that. Because waves, when you think of waves are like that. There's nothing like that about a wave. It doesn't go straight. Waves are like this. Frequencies are like this. Frequencies and waves are on the same vibe, okay? A vibration, all right? So when you think about that, and you're thinking that we're only operating at 60 megahertz, when we should be all operating somewhere between 432, 528, 63, 3. Man, it's a difference when you're able to raise your vibration, you know, to be able to raise that is eye-opening. It's a different feel, you know. And when you're able to do that, you be like, you have an aha moment. You really do. So if you're looking at 7 days that makes a week, 4 weeks make 1 month. If you multiply 4 times 7, it gives you that 28, okay, months, which equals the moon. If you look at the moon, how it cycles around, 13 moons in a complete cycle, 13 constellations. The 13 keep popping up. So I personally think the April Fool Day is the fact that they're fooling everyone based upon the calendar being 12 months versus being 13. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion, And I believe that if you take a look at 432 megahertz, okay, if you say 4 plus 3 plus 2 equals 9, that's a universal number, okay? That's a universal number, okay? That's like the highest number when you look at that from that point of view. And this is all I'm asking you to do, is to go back and really check some things out for yourself, because a lot of times they've been fooling us about a lot of information that's out there. I just did that today. Amazing breakdown. Sounds, light, and movement are all frequencies. Absolutely. Sounds, light, and movement are all frequencies. As a matter of fact, your body, this thing is operating on a frequency. Okay? It is truly operating on a frequency. We're being all, if you really want to break it down, we're all being held together based on frequency and movement. That's the honest truth. When you think about vibrating and really taking yourself to a higher level, it's different, and when you're able to do that, you look at things totally different than the way you used to see things. And I say that based upon my continuous reading and really getting involved with Freemasonry and looking behind the curtains at various things that I've come across in this journey is freaking amazing. And the information that's out there is like, whew, really, it's the information that is out here for us to really go and get is mind-blowing. It truly is. You can't go back to sleep after you've discovered after you've discovered a lot of things. There's no way you can go back to sleep. You can't go back to being docile. You can't go back being like, I don't care, because when certain information has been handed to you, you're supposed to do something with it. You're supposed to be able to share the knowledge of enlightening the next person. See, this is the thing that gets me a lot of times. A lot of individuals who call themselves Christians, they are afraid of really tapping into that real serious spirituality, that real essence of what it is to be a Christian, the real God example, the real Christ example. Most are afraid to really get down and dirty in it. They really are. They're spooked by it. And I say that often because when I begin to see and read the Bible, I don't see it and read it just because they say this is the word of God. It's an inspired word that man perceived to have gotten from God. That's my opinion. So when I take all of that in, and based upon information that predates the Bible, you have to be able to take and chew on it and spit the bone out. That's what you have to be able to do, because all of the information that you're going to receive is not going to necessarily fit the narrative. You're going to have to do further research. You're going to have to go back. You're going to have to digest it and break it down. Following Dr. Ben Johnson and other individuals, other ancestors, and their works, it's totally awesome. And the funny thing is, what I find is that those like Dr. Ben Johnson and Dr. Valentine's and others, as long as they're alive, no one really wants to debate what they're saying. No one. But as soon as they die, as soon as they're no longer around, everybody wants to come out of the closet and debate, oh, they were wrong. But you couldn't do it while the man was living. Just as they did King, just as they did Malcolm, and just as they've done many other leaders who really put their life on the line, who really came out against a lot of the systems that we're involved in today. Once they are dead and gone, everybody at the woodworks want to come out and prove that they were wrong or that they was this and that they was that. But while they're living and you have an opportunity to communicate with them, you can't do it. You don't do it. And and that's the thing I get in when I'm dealing with certain Masons. That's what I get when I deal with certain Masons is when I invite them to come on, I say, hey, you know what? You want to have an open conversation? Come on, let's have it. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't do that. But you can talk to me on the phone. You can Facebook me. You can do all the back channel things. But when it comes to actually having a dialogue publicly, you can't do it. So when information is given to us that may change our thought process, you can't comprehend it. You can't believe it because the information that you have, you're so indulged in it, you're so geared up and hooked in it till nothing can come in to even give you a little bit more extra light and knowledge on a subject. And this is what happens to a lot of us in our religious dogma and belief because we're so this is it. This is the only way process you can't fathom that I can get to California to Chicago by a different route. You can't fathom that because you've always taken this route. There's no other route to get you there. And this is what happens when we deal with people who don't know how to raise their vibration. They're always operating at 60 megahertz. They never have the opportunity to raise their consciousness because this is where they're at. And this is why some of our leaders, those who have gone before us and really put their life on the line, you have to wonder, why did they do it? Because so many of us are so afraid to even step up and to say, this is wrong or this is right, and here's the reason why, and have a true open dialogue. Like tonight, I'm talking about 13 months in a year. And some people are going to be like, how can you say it's 13 months in a year? Because all you've ever been taught is there's 12 months in a year. You never question anything. You always accept what someone tells you instead of going back, researching and saying there's a possibility. Or, yeah, I could be wrong. Instead of just saying, I'm so right. No. You really have to go back and pull and look at the language, the dates, and all of that, and come up with your solution and come to your conclusion. And based upon the information you have and get, that may change. That is the mysterious number 13. People call 13 a bad luck number based upon what happened to the Knights Templars. So a lot of buildings and a lot of places don't have the number 13. Does the Tesla of the Fez, does the tassel of the Fez, of the Shriner, similar represents the Fez of the Moorish rites? It does. Okay. And I want to kind of stay on topic, but to answer that, yes, it does. I mean, does the tassel of the Fez of the Shriner share similarity representation of the Fez or the Moorish rites? And I'm going to say yes, it does. In the Moorish rites, they allowed their Fez to be loose, which represents a complete 360 degrees. So the Fez or the tassel has the opportunity to move anyway in a complete circle. In Shriner, they tassel that Fez down. Reason being because they don't want it swinging, So, but the Fez, which comes from Morocco, which actually says a man of noble birth, a man of nobility, a learned man, just as in the Moorish rites. That's what it represents: a learned man, a man that knows self, a man who continues to move forward and gather knowledge. Okay, that's what that Fez represents. Greetings to all who are about to come on. So we're talking about the number 13. We're talking about the 13 months. We're talking about the 13 constellations. How is it that we came up with a calendar, a Roman calendar, that most people and individuals go by? when we know that there are other variations of the calendar? There's a Jewish calendar also. There's a Mayan calendar out there. Are these calendars just as accurate as the Roman calendar itself? And why do we still consider ourselves operating on 60 megahertz instead of trying to increase our vibration, increase our knowledge and our intelligence about who we are, and being more acceptable to who we are instead of trying to be someone else? Always looking for someone else to validate us. That's another thing I'm finding that's discouraging along the way in this journey. Whereas individuals or groups of people needing other people to validate who they are. And I would say this in regards to the ancient free Moorish rights, or ancient Moorish rights, the organization for which I just came into. And I see their point when they say, whose masonry are you practicing? I get that. I get it for myself. I can't vouch for no one else, but I get it in understanding. Okay, so what is this connection? I have my own understanding until someone share other information with me to give me more enlightenment. And I get that, that most of us have always followed someone else's tradition. This is what we've always done. We've always followed someone else's tradition instead of going and looking at ancient customs and traditions that we once held so dear to us. It's still in your DNA. Look, you can put a kitten in the oven and it's not going to make them biscuits. You can put a kitten with a lion and it doesn't make that kitten a lion. It's the process. And for those of us who have not yet understood that we've gone through a process of man, what we have gone through as a people is beyond really belief. I just need for you to think just for a moment as we indulge ourselves in this calendar thing and just look at yourself, African Americans or Black. I don't care what continent you're on or what country you're in, to carry this skin tone, this color. It really means something. You're going to be treated the same no matter where you at, unless you're in Africa in an all Black atmosphere. But if you go somewhere in this world, you're going to be treated the same. Not just you are Nigerian, or that you are from Morocco, or that you are from America. You're going to be treated the same, and you may not like it. Period. But back to the conversation at hand, dealing with the 13 months. I believe that we have been fooled, that we have been hook-winked. I believe that the system that we are involved with have been changed. I believe that when I look at the global, I'm not going to say calendar, but the map, the global map, and how it's arranged, I believe that St. Peter's is the oldest map. And it's very hard for you now to even find a St. Peter's map anywhere. It's very hard for you to find a St. Peter's map. If you go back and watch the series West Wing, and they was talking about St. Peter's map, and what if that map actually got out and people actually started to look and ask questions in regards to it, it would change everything. Just as this month of 13 months in a year. If you go back and begin to break it down and look at how they actually followed a calendar year, you'll be amazed. You would. I mean, I know I was. And as I indulge myself in these things that enlightens me on different subject matters, I have those moments. I'm like, wow, things that was never really shared with you or talked to you about or brought to your attention. And when it's there in your face, you have to look at it for what it is. Greetings, everybody who's coming on. Master J720, peace, fam. I appreciate you. Critical thinking, 13 months was called, man, I don't want to mess that up. I'm not going to even try to pronounce it because I jack it up, but go and read Critical Thinking. I'm going to take and repost this, brother, Critical Thinking. I'm not going to mess that up, bro. I'm not going to do that to myself. But I am going to copy and repost that what you just posted. And I think that's totally awesome. Absolutely. I do. So greetings to everybody who's coming on. I was going to go YouTube live, but I didn't do that. So if you want to call in and you have something that you would like to say, you can definitely hit me up. Okay. So you can hit me up at this number if you want to. And if you got something you want to say, you want to tune in and have a conversation, you're certainly welcome to do so. 286-0642. You can give me a call at this number if you want to call in and have this conversation. I want to send a big shout out to those who came on. My person Nico Sanchez. He's in the room tonight. I want to send a big shout out to him. Appreciate him coming on and holding it down for us tonight. Definitely, this conversation right here, I think that it's a good conversation to have in regards to 13 months in a year and how did we get here. As I said before, if you go back and look at the months and what the word means, it would give you a number. Once again, if you go back and look at the months and what the word means, it will come out to a number. Seven, the number 7 means September. Okay. October is 8. November, Nov is 9. Duck, December is 10. Jan means 11. Feb means 12. And so forth and so on. You actually come up with 13 months in a year, knowing that April is the first month, meaning springtime. See, this is why they also, during this time, we are now in the resurrection of Christ. Are we not? The beginning, the resurrection, anew. This is where we're at right now. This is where we're at right now. Am I right or wrong? Check that out for yourselves. This is what it is. When you consider this, April being the first month of the year, it's something anew. When you consider a December, January, and February, those months, December is really a month of darkness. So is January, so is February, March. Those months is dark. November, those, when you look at those last 4 months, 6 months in a year, the days are short. But when you get into April, when you coming out of when you're coming out of the end of March and going into April, the days begin to be lengthened. Okay, new light, new birth. As we change time, that means the sun. We said going down. The sun never goes down. It's how the earth begins to shift on its axle, and the days are considered to be shorter, meaning dark, meaning death, and it all plays together. It's death and resurrection. If you know anything about Horus and Osiris, and you would even get a little bit more in depth with that, So it's something really to think about, how all of this really has a cycle, a full cycle, and what we get out of life. You'll be like, well, damn, really? Greetings, everybody who's coming on. I appreciate you. The calendar system created a balance within a said system using it. Banking system, Templars, laughing out loud. Let's put it together. Friday the 13th. Richard Douglas, I can see that. Oh, really? Dr. Malachi York talked about this years ago. I'm not familiar with all of Dr. Malachi York, right? The things that he's taught, but from what I understand about the knowledge that the man had, it was awesome. I'm not talking about his personal life. I'm talking about the knowledge that Dr. Malachi York had, and still has today. I think he's incarcerated right now, but that doesn't negate the man's knowledge and knowing of certain things and the work that he put in while he was free, because he put in the work, and I'll let that be where that's at. But greetings to everybody who's coming on tonight. We're talking about 13 months in a year. We're talking about the 13 constellations. Each month has 28 days. And if you're going to begin your year, start off with April and work your way all the way to March, will give you 13 months. Now, you may ask, if you're just joining us, how do we come to 13 months in a year? Well, allow me just for a second to share this with you. So, if you look at, there are 7 days in a week, right? That equals 4 weeks, right? 4 plus 7 is 28. And if you take that and you look at 28 months and 13, if you're looking at 28 days, you come up with your 13 months because you have 13 full moon cycles. A woman has 13 full moon cycles, or 13 constellations. It means something. It's not just there. It really means something. The ideal is how do we officially go back and take a serious look at why they call April 1st April Fools? Is someone playing games with us? Is somebody fooling us about this information that is out there? Because right now, this serious conversation right now, everything is a shortage. Everything. There's a food shortage, gas shortage. There is a shortage of everything. Okay? Something is taking place. We just don't know what it is. Your body knows, you can kind of feel, you can kind of sense that something is shifting. Something isn't quite right. You can kind of sense it. You just can't put your hands on it. The reason you can't necessarily put your hands on it, but you kind of can sense it, is because of how you vibrate. Most of us, as I said earlier, are only vibrating on 60 megahertz. But if you were able to get that up a little bit higher, you would understand that, hey, something right now is shifting. Right now, we're in the process of something great that is taking place around us. Right now, if you notice right now, a lot of people, let's just be honest with yourself. When you look at this thing in its totality, a lot of people are not attending churches like they used to. A lot of people, they're not. Okay, so you're talking about mega churches. Okay, so you got the mega churches. But a lot of people are not attending churches like they used to. Because right now, people are finding and having a better understanding of this spiritual walk, this life that we're in. Okay? They're not just taking a Bible and saying, okay, they read it and say, okay, you know. And when you read that thing, if you take one thing out of there, the Messiah, Joshua Yahweh, stated himself, according to it being the word of God, saying that the things you see me do, you should do these things and more. But how many of us really believe that we can walk on water? How many of us really believe that we can make the blind see, make the deaf hear, and the lame walk? How many of you actually believe that? Is that something physical or is it mentally? I mean, how can you wrap your hands around that when you're calling yourself a Christian? How can you not practice, not believe it if you are that? I'm just throwing it out there. And because of what I'm seeing happening within the realm of Freemasonry, what I'm seeing happening in this shift, may I say. Let me see what we got here. Greetings, everybody. Once again, I was just trying to get caught up in the chat. So, you know, when I view these things and I bring these things to your attention, I want you to go back and take a look at it. I want you to go back and preview and really pull back the curtains. You know, man, the books I have and the books that people have shared with me, really, man, I want to say thank you. I really do. If you have shared books with me, and quite a few of you have done just that. You have sent me books. You have actually came to my home and dropped books off at my doorstep. You have mailed me books. Man, you don't know the information that you've shared with me have really helped and enlightened me. Period. Let's see. Greetings. Great conversation. Brother Tony, 365 equals 2813. Point three, April Fools, the journey and the trio means new beginning, journey to many readers. Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, there you have it. You know, if you're going to tell me it's 13, if you're going to tell me a woman carries a baby, what, 8, 9 months? 9 months, right? She carries a baby 9 months. And let's just say, for instance, we know it's four weeks that makes a complete month. So that's going to be equal to 28 days. So it gives you 13.03 months in a year. 13 days and 3 hours. I mean, 13 months and about 3 hours. 28 days. That's what I'm getting. So greetings to everyone. To walk on water might allude to navigating the emotions, waters of life in many circumstances. What you mean? It might means that. It actually means that. It look. Oh, brother, you. So let's have that conversation just for a second. So when you talk about to walk on water might allude to navigating the emotional waters of life and its many circumstances, brother. You are absolutely on it, but take it a step farther. You know, your body and how much water it made. You have more water in your body than you do blood. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, heaven, you'll catch it on the way home, sits in water. Heaven sits in water. You'll catch it on the way home, but it does. Okay, that's a fact. 3 plus 6 plus, yeah, absolutely, equals 364 days in a year, gives you 13 months. You know, so what you're saying in regards to navigating the emotional waters of life in as many circumstances is absolutely on target. It's right there. But what happens is when we think about and when we read this thing we call the Bible, and we say it's the word of God, okay, and how we break it down. And some of us literally look at it and say, we take it literally instead of what it really alludes to life's journey and astrology and numerology. It all plays a part in that book. But some of us are so spooked by numerology and astrology till we don't even want to look at it and we don't even want to touch it. Oh my, we don't want to have nothing to do with it. Absolutely not. You know, absolutely not. Heaven equals heaven is a place where boats dock. Hmm. So where do you dock your boat? Man, I was gonna go somewhere with that. And I'm gonna say this. Where do men come from? And where do they spend most of their lives trying to go or trying to get to? Hear this question, and I want you to ponder this just for a moment. Where do men come from? And where do they spend most of their life trying to get back to? You catch that on the way home. Just think for a moment. I'm going to repeat this one more time for you. Where did men come from? And where do they spend most of their life trying to get back to? I'm just saying. I'm, I'm just saying because this, brother said, oh my goodness. He said, where do you dock your boat? That's what the brother said. So when he said, "What do you dock your boat?" I'm thinking of many waters. I'm thinking of the man. When he said that, my mind went whoop. You know, 45 degrees is a fact. It's a fact. You know, we look to answer the questions that men come from women. Okay, when we spend all of our lives trying to go back into a woman, that's what we do. So when the brother asked the question, where do you dock your boat? I'm just saying. He opened that box and I went down that damn rabbit hole. I'm just saying. So as we journey in life, man, y'all got me all over the place now. I need to come back to my 13 months and my calendar year because look, you can't be doing that to me, bro. You can't be doing that. I gotta stay on my subject topic because that one right there, woo. Oh man, you got me cracking up. Oh man, I could have went so many places with that one right there. Oh man. So this is why even in your Masonic journey, you must ask yourself, why do we do what we do in the lodge meetings, in your Eastern Star meetings, in any of the degree work you operate in? Why do you do what you do? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Even though we know it's ritualistic work, but why do we do that? Why do we do as many and brothers and fellas have done before? Why? And when you answer that question, there's another one waiting on you. So that's more than likely going to be my next subject matter, is why do we do what we do in the Masonic Lodge and Eastern Star chapter? There's a reason why we do it. Absolutely, there's a reason why. But most of us, when we come into this organization, this society of Freemason in the Order of the Eastern Star, we don't ask the question. We just do it. It's like we spit it out. We know the rituals back and forth, but we don't know why. You know, we do what we do for the advancement of self in the craft. Nah, brother, you're on the road. You're on the road. You're on the road. You're on the road. Brother L, you're on the road. That's all I can say, but it's much more than just for the advancement of the craft and for self. It's much more than that. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Yeah, the Bible. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, but what do you do with the basic instructions? Why do we do what we do? You know, even in the Masonic meetings, that's the question I have to ask myself. Why do we do what we do? It goes, brother, let me see. Brother said for self-advancement. I got to go back up here and see where is he at. Let me see. You're going to the sea, brother. I hear. Okay, so the brother L said we do what we do for the advancement of self in the craft. And as I said before, brother L, you're on the road. You're in the waters, and there's, to me, in my own opinion, based upon what I know and what I've learned so far, is more to it than just that. Okay, it's more to it than just that, and that just may be the conversation for a next subject topic. Is why do we do the things we do in the lodge? Because we do these things without thinking, because it's so repetition, but it means something. It really, really means something. Richard Douglas, the crescent moon and the star, mother, son, principal, ma, son. You wanted to go there, huh? You wanted to go there. You had to go there, Richard. You just couldn't wait to open that door up, could you? You had to like open the door and it's still open, huh? You had to do it. Oh my goodness. Well, brother Richard, some are going to look at you and say, that's an interesting post you got there. Mother, son, principal, ma, son. You should have went ahead and just added the M-A-S-O-N and not break it up as ma, son, but just should have said Mason. But I get it. I get it. Because even on that fez, if you turn that fez if you turn that fez upside down, okay, upside down, that means that fez would be, let me see, it's 360. Hold on, I'm gonna give you the number at the angle that it's going to be. I'm gonna give that to you. Hold on, I'm gonna give that to you. There's something special about that. Hold on. Let me see what it's going to be. Hold on, just a second. Let me see. So if you turn that fez, 180. If you turn the fez at 180 degrees, okay, just turn the fez at 180 degrees, you would truly have the crescent, moon, and the star. You would have that. Absolutely. That is a fact. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, you're right. But if you turn that fez at 180 degrees, you would have the crescent, moon, and star. Absolutely. So I get it. I get it. That's why Masons, and when you say ancient Arabic order nobles of the Mystery Shrine, simply says a Mason. That's what it says. Absolutely. I get it. Sun traveled to us at 8.19 seconds. Yeah, that's going to have to be a whole nother Shabazz. That's going to have to be a whole another subject right there. That's for real. So greetings, everybody just coming on. Tonight, we've been having a great discussion and topic conversation dealing with 13 months and April 1st, which says April Fools. Why is that an April Fools? Do someone know something we don't know, and why is April 1st considered April Fool's Day? My conclusion, what I've come to until I find other information, is that somebody has switched the calendar on us. That's my conclusion right now. Based upon the information that I have for myself, unless you want to add something to it, and where I can look at it for myself and make up my own mind, yeah, it should be 13 months in a year. Absolutely. Absolutely, I believe that. Based upon what I've read for myself and the information that are out there and the calendars, which are older than the Roman calendar for which we go by. 13 months in a year. And when you look at the months compared to the numbers and what they really mean, you'll come to that conclusion also, or somewhere thereabouts. But it's going to have to be your own conclusion based upon the information that you will have. Yes, 8 years off. Absolutely. 8 years off. Well, the question is, how can January be the beginning of the year when everything in nature is dead? That's that's because April 1st is that's because April 1st is April Fools, and they're fooling us saying that, hey, we know something you don't know. So you're a fool. You're a fool. Think about that. It's more to it than what we actually see. And that's the uniqueness of what I like about masonry. It always tells me to pull back the curtains. That's what I get out of masonry. And everything, ask why. Why do we do this? Why is that? Why? Until you come to that truth. You ask why until you come to that truth. And when you come to that truth, you go to the next one. Boom. Because everything in the middle is worth finding out. It's worth finding out. Our modern calendar is more of an economic calendar than a celestial one. How a baby born in 9 months, but it's 12 months. Hey, bruh, the doctor knows. You know, I would say that the doctor knows. Absolutely, the doctor knows. You know, that's why the doctor said in 9 months, but he doesn't necessarily, you know, do his thing. He looks at it as 4 months, 4 weeks makes a month. So he'll give you that. Oh, she said she was pregnant for 10 months and I wouldn't let them pull the baby out. Because the baby wasn't ready to come. You know, they could have been off. When they told you, sis, that you was pregnant, they could have been off. You know, they could have been off by a whole month. You ever known people to walk around and be pregnant and they have a baby and they say, I didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. The baby, I didn't know. And that's hard to believe, but that's a fact. It's a fact that females have carried babies and had no idea that they was pregnant and delivered a healthy baby. It's just a fact. I know people are like, oh, you're crazy. Nowhere in the world. No. Go look this up for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. Go look it up for yourself. Women have carried babies for more than what we call 9 months, you know, but they want to induce your labor so the baby can be born now. The baby just wasn't ready to come out. When you know when the baby is ready to come, because it's going to do its thing. April 1st, I believe 1492 was also the day that many Moors that remained in Spain were tricked into believing that there were a ship waiting to take them to the New World. But when they boarded the ship, they were slaughtered probably or killed. Absolutely. If you go 12 months, can you die? Never known anybody to die if they went 12 months. I haven't heard. That's a whole nother show. I like to do something on that. You know, that would be interesting. That's very, very interesting. Man, they were set on fire. Those who tried to run home had their homes were burnt down. Jay, that's something I didn't know. Appreciate you sharing. I tried with my second son, but he came. Wait a minute. You tried to carry your second son 12 months and he came? Well, it was time for him to come. I mean, when a baby is ready to be delivered, that baby is coming. Be it 1 month, 3 months, whatever. When the baby is ready to be delivered, when the baby is ready, the baby is ready. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. I appreciate you, Kevin. What's going on with you, Kevin Bay? Naywood Bay. Appreciate you. Took them all to 11 months. Wow. 11 months. Ooh. Greetings, everybody. We're having a good conversation tonight. We're only going to be on here a few more minutes, but the conversation is dealing with 13 months in a year. And this is something that a lot of individuals don't, they don't want to talk about it. I try to talk about things that most people don't want to talk about. And if you have a subject matter you want to talk about, we can do that too. This is that type of Freemason platform, all right, where we can have an open conversation and dialogue really about a whole lot of things that deals in Freemasonry, not necessarily where you're going to get it in your lodge. That's the truth. Okay, we can have that conversation. As a matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the next topic that we're going to be talking about on my next episode is going to be dealing with female Freemasons. I'm going to have that conversation because it needs to be had. Female Freemasons. That conversation has been really a hot topic for a minute on different Facebook posts and social media. So we're going to have that conversation. I'm going to try and get me a couple of female Freemasons to come on and join me and have that conversation. Now, here's the thing. Now, I know brothers are going to be asking me, well, do you recognize female Freemasons? I do not recognize them to be Masons. However, I will have a philosophy conversation with them. You'll catch that on the way home. Now, with that being said, I've been on here for about an hour. Deep in England. What's going on, Charles? How you doing, brother? How you doing? With that being said, I want to send a big shout out to Mystic Lodge 619 over in England. I had a great conversation with them brothers yesterday. Was that yesterday? Or today? I think it was yesterday. I had a great conversation with them. It was totally awesome. I really enjoyed the conversation with them. I really did. A woman can't be a Mason. She is complete. We're going to have that conversation, sister. We're going to have that conversation. Only men. We're gonna have that conversation. Oh, most definitely. That's a conversation to have. And I'm going to try to have me a couple of sisters on here in regards to that conversation. Definitely. So with that being said, I want to say thank you to all who came on tonight as we had a great conversation. And if you ever want to come on and really have a conversation, you're certainly welcome to do so. To any and all who wants to be enlightened and have an enlightened conversation, you're certainly welcome to do so. Okay, let's know us. Joe, we can make that happen. Oh, absolutely. The new year is when the sun enter Aries. You know what? This conversation can go on and on, dealing with the 13 months, the lunar calendar. Oh man, we can do this. We can do this. Can't wait for that one. Oh yeah. So we're gonna have that conversation. Though Morris stars were ships. Those Morris stars were ships. I'm gonna have to catch that one. I'm gonna have to catch that one, bro. I ain't lying to you, brother L. I'm gonna have to catch that one, and that's real. Oh yeah, Mother Earth has a lot to say. I love to share some awesome information. Well, if you would like to share some awesome information with me, you can always look me up. I'm gonna put my email in here. Look me up, and we'll have that. Hope you all, Rose of Jericho, enjoy this Holy Week. Well, you know what? Not only the Herons of Jericho, but the brothers who are a part of the Royal Ark. This is their week too. Oh man, there you go. There you go right there. I'm gonna have to do some on that. Man, you guys are really putting it out here tonight. Absolutely, you put it out here. Man, I should do something on the Holy Week dealing with Freemasons. Oh, yes, the Holy Week. This week right here is a Holy Week. Bing. Yes. Yes. So I got two that I want to be doing, and that one is going to be on the female Freemason, and one is going to be on the Holy Week. This week being a Holy Week leading into Easter. Woo! Oh my goodness. Yes. That one right there. That needs to be the one. You got me, I tell you. Wink, wink is right. The Holy Week of Freemason. Why would you say that? So look, I got to go because you guys keep posting in here, man. I keep like, damn. But look, as always, I want to help you study. I'm not your study guide. Keep your light on. Stay out them bushes. And to any brother of the craft, sister order, you are also welcome to come on here. We can go live, have a great conversation, a great discussion in regards to Freemasons and the Order of the Eastern Star. And I believe when you have those types of conversation, it really just shows you what the organization, society is really all about. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close off. Brother Jackson just coming on. Look, I'm going to say this publicly. Brother Stephen M. Jackson is a dear friend of mine. And he had told me, and I apologize to him, that when I about a week or so ago, when I was in Atlantic City, he had told me, look, man, we need to connect. And we were not able to. And that's on me. And I owe him an apology because he did something. He did something and it really touched me. And he told me. And I just want to let him know how much I apologize to him. I appreciate his friendship. That's from me to him because that's one hell of a brother. I can say that. I want to tell him I want to thank you for thinking about me and doing what you did. And I did not follow through as I should have. That's my apology to you, Brother Jackson. And thank you for coming on and keeping people in check. What's up, PHA? What's going on with you? Peace and love. Thank you. You better hope you don't get in trouble being on this site talking about peace and love. Oh my God. Y'all got me rolling. I'm trying to go. It's good to see you here, brother. Yes, indeed. Slim Daddy. Look, I gotta go, everybody, but definitely, whatever you do, stay out the bushes, keep your light on. And as a matter of fact, take your light and set it on the hill so everybody can see it. Love you all. It's Mike from Oh man, Alex, what's going? Oh man, I'm trying to get off of here, man. Alex, what's happening with you? I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. Yeah, we need to link back up, man. It's been a minute. Oh man, that's another brother. Look, there are brothers that I've met in my travels, be it PHA, Modern Free, and whatever. I've met so many different brothers in my travel who have actually met me in their city. They've actually come to San Diego. We've actually fellowshipped here. Man, that's what it is to me. That's what it's all about to me. I don't care what anybody says. That's what it is all about. Okay? That's it. But Joe, I don't want you to get in no trouble now. I don't want you to get in no trouble, Joe. I don't want you to get in no trouble. Oh man. There is no leaving you, Grant. I'm trying to get off here. I've said bye 3 times, and you guys just don't know how much I appreciate you coming on and really having a great conversation and fellowship with me in regards to Freemasonry and really demonstrating what Masonry and the Order of the Eastern Star is all about. You have no clue. But look, I gotta go because I can be on here for another hour or so, and I'm quite sure you'll be right here with me. But I got another hot topic coming up, another hot subject coming up, and we're gonna dive right into it. So, what I'm gonna do for those of you who would like to come on and be on the YouTube live, on the Zoom as well, hit me up with your email. I'll send your email when I'm going live, and then you can be on with me at the same time. We can have this great conversation. We sure can. Okay, the Mr. last me to Freemasonry. Glad to see my brothers and sisters are here. Travel light. Brother Tony, good night. Yeah, I've been saying that for the past 5 minutes. Okay, all right. Look, I'm gone. And that was it, bro. I gotta go. I appreciate everybody. Peace and be well. Love you all.